Hey guys, so basically my last post on the blog seems to have got a fair bit of attention. So what I'm going to do for you guys is, if you're a little bit lazy, really, and you don't want to read, I get like that sometimes, then I'm just going to do a really quick video to go along with it. And this, if you're watching this, this should be posted either on YouTube or actually embedded in the post itself. So if you get a little bit lazy, you can just listen up. So basically, the post is the top 4 tips for losing fat in more than 30 seconds. So most people out there always moan that they have, a little bit too much fat around the waistline. The mince pies at Christmas put on a little bit too much and it never really shifted. And then that's happened year after year. You got a little bit bigger and you kind of want to get rid of it. And then the way that they really go about this is it's quite a lot of the media's fault. They look at the magazines like. Here in the UK, we've got Men's Fitness, Men's Health, Women's, pretty much exactly the same things. I wouldn't look at them. It's not really my sort of thing, surprisingly. But they'll give you this image every single time. Get those abs in 30 minutes. Yeah, you can look ripped in just 4 weeks. You'll look like this cover model. Absolute rubbish. I didn't actually mention it in the post, but there's 2 things basically. One, it clearly doesn't work. Otherwise, everybody would look like a cover model. If it was that easy, why wouldn't you do it? Because it's not that easy. And number 2 is a lot of the cover models are on steroids. Not all of them, so don't try and call me out on that. But basically, a lot of them are, and it's not so they can look massive. Steroids don't all do that. It's so that they can look more shredded, as is the popular term at the moment. As well as that, I've seen quite a few documentaries and I've read quite a lot into it. Photoshop is really, really heavily used. You might not think it. You might think, oh, well, they've got to be in really good shape. And they are, but they look so much better on the photo because the lighting's perfect. It's showing those abs, it's showing that big bum on the ladies, but they've got all of that and they still Photoshop them. It's just pretty much not really plausible to think that you can look like that. So whilst I have a little scroll down here so I remember what I actually wrote. Yeah, okay, so now on to the 4 main tips. So first of all, you can't spot reduce your fat. When I worked in a supplement store, and all you'd get is people coming in saying, I'd like to lose fat around there. Almost every single day, that was all you ever got. I want to lose fat around the waist. Oh, how can I do that? They'd be buying like these creams and everything that they sell. Of course, the supplement store's going to sell it if people want it. It doesn't have to work, because what they're going to do is they're going to spend 30, 40, 50 quid on this. Try it for a bit. Oh, it's not really working. And kid you not, you might have done it yourself. They'll go buy another one that's just as expensive but not the same thing because the person in the shop will tell them to buy it. I never used to really do that because they don't work. It's completely ridiculous to think that you can just spot reduce fat. So basically, you need to make yourself aware that you lose fat all over your body. You can't just lose it in one specific area. Have you ever seen a guy, think about it, with really fat arms, fat legs and a 6-pack? No, because it doesn't happen. But that being said, there are some things that could either be to your that could be good for you or to your detriment, which is basically your genes. So everybody has genes, obviously, but essentially the genes, they determine where you store your body fat most of all. So some people store it on the back of the legs. It's particularly a bad one for women, or they'll store it under their arms. Like you've seen plenty of women with these bingo wings trying to just get rid of it there. It's not going to happen. Some people just store it around the waist. Some people in their arse. That's where they're saying a lifetime on the lips, something on the hips. You know what I'm saying. So that's something to get your head around. So second tip is you cannot do loads of crunches to get abs. doesn't work. I'm not really going to go in a lot of detail on this because pretty much there's no reason how we could do it. I've just told you can't spot reduce fat. Crunches isn't a muscle building exercise, not a very good one, but it is one. It's not cardio. It's not heavy lifting, so it's not going to burn calories that way. It's literally going to do nothing apart from probably hurt your back a little bit because nine people out of 10 don't do it properly and they curl over even just a little bit and it ain't good for your back. So do yourself a favor and don't do them. What you want to do is be doing either some high intensity interval training or do some lifting. It's going to strengthen your core and you're going to lose fat. You'll notice there's a bit of a theme here. So then there's the other thought that being fit is better than being skinny. It's particularly big with girls, but I also know it's quite big with guys. People think that being fit is, you know, oh, why would you want to do that? You only want to be able to run 5 minutes. That ain't being fit. That's like just being a human being. If you can't do that, you have serious problems, and you really need to get yourself in a program more than anyone else. But being skinny and having some abs, especially for a guy, you see them, they're like, oh yeah, they got their abs, oh, they look sick, you know, the girls like them. That's the 14, 15-year-old girls. Actually, you know, fully grown women don't like that. So if you're a guy who's wanting to get your abs up, be proper skinny, it's not a good look. You just look ill. And quite frankly, you're probably not going to be very healthy. There may be 1 or 2 exceptions to that, but on the whole, you're not going to be healthy. So what I suggest is to eat well, eat healthily, and be slim. Slim and fit, cardiovascular-wise, strength-wise, mobility-wise, is so much better than not really eating a lot and being skinny. Now, something I didn't touch on in this post was that if you are tall, this is mainly for guys, but it can also apply for girls, tall and have a fast metabolism naturally, it's going to be harder for you to gain weight. Unless you have a serious medical condition, which you probably don't, you're probably going to say, oh, but I eat everything and I put on loads of weight. Well, eat more. It's something I had to deal with, and it's just something you have to do. You have to eat more, and the more you eat, the more you get used to it, and it no longer seems like you're eating a lot. It seems like you're eating a normal amount. It just takes a very long time to get to that stage, and then you're healthier than you were before. So now on to tip number 4. Lifting is better for you than running every day if you want to lose fat. That's just a fact. Lifting 3, 4, perhaps 5 times a week, but I'd say 3 or 4, is going to be fantastic for your overall mobility. It's going to be great for strengthening your core, which if you're ever doing any heavy lifting in your job or painting the walls, it's going to really help with that. Not only that, it's basically the equivalent of high intensity interval training, which I touched on just a few minutes ago. And what that essentially does is, it's a really high intensity exercise. Your heart rate goes through the roof, but then you have a period of rest not long after, and then you go back to it. So this rest is basically doing nothing. What this does is it increases your post-exercise oxygen consumption, which there's a high chance you're not going to know what that is. Yeah, we don't really need to go into very much detail, but basically that's going to keep your metabolism high for a period of time after the exercise. It's not going to be all day, I'm not going to lie to you and say it's that, but it's going to work. And also during the actual time that you're doing the exercise, you're going to be burning a lot of calories. Depending on who you are and certain circumstances, the chances are you're going to be burning more calories in an hour doing heavy lifting, or in fact not necessarily heavy lifting, but just lifting, than you are doing running for an hour, unless you run very, very fast. But even then, probably not. And another thing, if you're running all the time, you're going to slow down your metabolism. Now, this is something that bodybuilders use to a great deal, in the fact that they don't really do very much cardio. And the reason for that is it means that they find it harder and harder to lose the fat, and in order to lose fat they have to, this is particularly for bodybuilders, they have to eat less carbs, which is quite a big one at the moment. I wouldn't necessarily that's the way to go, but they have to eat less carbs, eat less food, eat less calories, but then they keep doing more cardio, so then it's harder, and they get to a point where they're pretty much anemic and they're quite ill. So you don't want to be doing that. Now, I'm not saying running is bad, running is very good, but you don't want to do it every day. You want to be doing it maybe 1, 2, 3 times a week, and that would be best complemented with lifting. Then you're going to cover all your bases, and you're going to do very well. In our 2 programs, the EHF beginners program and just the standard EHF program, you'll see that there is time for cardio in those weeks. That makes it an active rest day, and you can work that way. At the moment, because it works best for me, is I do a little bit of running to and from the gym as I go. It's not too far, it's about 10 minutes. I don't go flat out, I go reasonably well, get a bit of a sweat on, and that's pretty much all you're going to need to do. So, also guys, because I'm basically just reading off the post here, is remember to like us on Facebook, follow us here on YouTube, and I'm sure there's one other thing. Oh yeah, and follow the blog. And that's all you need to do, guys. We're gonna keep posting up some more stuff quite regularly now. I'm getting into the swing of things, and it's feeling pretty good. If you're actually here at the end of the video, well done. Most people don't. And if you are here, remember that you can post your comments. This actual whole article was written because yesterday someone wanted some information to do with this, and I'm more than willing to help. Rakesh is planning on writing something up at the moment, so there's 2 of us that are able to do the writing, so we've got plenty of time. And if you guys want any help, yeah, just give us a shout and we'll try to do our best. So guys, that's some Rage Keeper Fitness. Peace.